Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am your childcare mentor and I'm Thiana. Let's talk about the most frustrating parts of running a childcare center, and that is staffing. If you know, you know. Call outs, no shows, constant hiring. The feeling like you finally got the perfect team and then poof, someone quits. If you're a director, then you know that staffing can make or break your center. It can run smoothly or it could just go left and completely fall apart. So today we're talking about why childcare centers are struggling and what we can do to fix it. Childcare is not an easy job. It's physically demanding, it's emotionally draining, and we're often underpaid. So when you enter this field and you don't truly know what it requires, people don't stay long. And that's why staffing is a revolving door. It's not just about hiring people, it's about hiring the right people for the job. You want to be creating an environment that people want to stay in. When you're short staffed, it's easy to hire quickly just to fill a spot. You know, you've been there, I've been there, but you can't do that because you'll be getting people in there that's not right for your center. Rushing the process leads to unreliable employees, poor classroom management, and you'll be back to hiring the next week, if you know what I mean. You've been there, and so have I. So we want to quit rushing the process. Some staff quit because they didn't understand the job or the expectations. If expectations aren't clear, that leads to confusion, and confusion leads to frustration, and that usually leads to them feeling overwhelmed, which eventually causes them to leave. So you want to make sure that expectations are very clear from orientation, okay? It starts early. Staff don't just leave, they leave because of the environment. We as directors have to take some accountability for our staff leaving. We have to ask ourselves, is the environment that our employees working in, are they supported? Do they feel heard? Can they come and talk to you? Environments where your employees feel unsupported teaches them that you can't be counted on when they're going through something in their classroom. And the first thing I think about is classroom management. Can they come and get help? Because that's where the overwhelming part of the job comes in. If teachers feel like they're constantly stressed, no one is helping them, parents are disrespectful, and leadership is not helping, they will start to look elsewhere. And then that will eventually cause them to what? Leave. So we want to make sure and take accountability that we're providing a space for them to thrive in. So ask yourself, guys, is your environment a place where they can thrive and be happy. Because guess what? Guess what? That's on you and your leadership skills. So make sure you're brushing up on those leadership skills because we want our staff to stay. We don't want our childcare center and our doors to be revolving, okay? Childcare burnout is real. I'm going to say that again. Childcare burnout is real. Long hours, constant noise, high responsibilities can wear people down and drain them without support. Even good teachers get burnt out and walk away. Let me say that again. Even good teachers get burnt out and will walk away. So let's now talk about solutions. How can we fix this? You can train someone on how to manage a classroom, but you can't train someone on how to have patience, how to have a passion and a love for the children. I think you just have to be born with the passion. Working with children is hard. And if you don't have the passion, it's easy to just walk out. So, how can we show up consistently? That's the question. During your interviews, look for reliability, a willingness to learn, positive energy. All those things are great contributors to childcare. So those are things we want to look for when we're doing the interviewing process. When we're hiring, we want to hire not just for experience, but we want to mix experience with passion. You know, you can hire someone with the experience, but they don't have the passion. So we want to have the experience and the passion for working with children, okay? We want to set the expectations high. You want to tell them what time they are to arrive at work. We want to make sure they're coming on time. We want to model how a classroom should be ran. So we want to make sure that we are training our staff so that when they get in there, the expectations of the classroom and the management, we've already shown them. So I like to do a lot of hands-on teaching with the kids and the teachers. I want them to watch me teach a class. I want them to watch me with classroom management so they can see how to do it when I'm not in the room, okay? So I do a lot of hands-on teaching with my staff. How to handle those classroom behaviors, another thing. That's something that I would add to my trainings because it can be hard if it's not hard for me because, for one, I'm a parent. So a lot of times we get employees who are not parents yet, who are young, who don't have experience with children. So we want to model how to discipline children in the classroom when it comes to classroom management, what we do, the timeouts, the certain classroom managements skills that we have inside the classroom. We also want to manage professionalism. We want to make sure that everyone comes to work in their uniforms and how to carry themselves around the parents and how to be professional online if you have those phone policies and social media things, you want to model that stuff. What does it look like? I'm looking at my notes. Clear expectations, reduce confusion. Clear expectations, reduce confusion. And sometimes confusion leads to the turnover. So if they don't know what they're doing and they go into these classrooms, they're overwhelmed. That leads to the turnover rate. So we want to reduce the confusion so we can reduce the turnover. Okay? Ask yourself, do my teachers feel supported? And if you don't know, I want you to take a survey, and you can do an anonymous survey so you don't know, but you want to get some feedback from your staff so you know how to tweak things, okay? When I think of support, I think about, are they able to get a break when needed? So if they're feeling overwhelmed, can they call you over the walk and say, hey, can you send in someone so I can take a 15-minute break? Once, here's story time. Once I had a teacher who was overwhelmed. I didn't know. She went and sat in her car and cried. And I was leaving for something and I saw it, and I knocked on her window and I'm like, are you okay? And she just broke down and told me, like, and she was a parent. So sometimes you never know what's going on with people on the outside of work. And then they come to work and then they're dealing with unruly behaviors. But I felt like she didn't feel comfortable coming to me and saying, hey, Tiana, I need a break. So you never want that. So you want to take accountability and you want to make sure that your staff feels comfortable coming to you. A lot of the girls I heard once, they felt intimidated when I walked in the building. And I never wanted to make people feel intimidated to talk to me about anything when it came to my center. So you want to have like an open door policy, a softness. I feel like I had a no nonsense kind of vibe. I want that, but I also want them to be able to talk to me about what's happening with them and the kids. I want to make sure that I always support the girls. We want to make sure we're supporting the girls and not dismissing their needs. We want to build a dream team, not a team that's scared to communicate with you, okay? Don't allow toxic behavior at your center. That goes for you, that goes for them, that goes for the kids, and that goes for the parents. We don't want toxic behavior in our centers. So we want to nip that in the bud. No gossiping, no negativity, no laziness. If leadership allows it, then that breeds for disaster in your center, okay? Address everything and make sure you nip it in the bud early. Address everything and nip it in the bud early. Staff will call out. We all have things to do, okay? Just make sure that you have policies and procedures in place to handle it so everything doesn't feel like an emergency. Handle it, okay? If you have these things, set in place, these little minor issues like with call outs and people being late, it won't seem like an emergency. Plan for it is what I'm trying to say. Plan for it. It's going to happen. Have floaters. Have on-call staff. Cross-train your staff. So your floaters, train them to be assistants in the classroom when they're there, okay? Cross-train your staff. It'll help in the long run. And things won't feel overwhelming when it happens. Things won't feel overwhelmed when it happens, because it will happen, okay? Change your mindset to shift, okay, when these things happen. Stop asking, how can I find, staff, good staff? Stop asking yourself, how can I find good staff? And ask yourself, what kind of environment am I creating for them? What kind of environment am I creating for my staff? The ones that I already have. We want them to stay and we want them to be happy. So here's another moment to take accountability and look at your leaderships. We want to know why my staff isn't happy. Why are they leaving? And fix those things. Because hiring is half the battle. Okay? Hiring is half the battle. Retention is where strong leadership shows up. Retention is where strong leadership shows up. So brush up on those leadership skills, ladies and gentlemen. Staffing will always be a challenge in childcare. Staffing will always be a challenge in childcare. But it doesn't have to feel impossible. Okay? It doesn't have to feel impossible. When you hire intentionally, set expectations, support your team, protect the culture of your center, things will be okay. Okay? So, build a center where people really enjoy coming to work. And that changes everything. I hope this video helps you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.